Probably going to end the stream about here as soon as the game allows me to save. Just defeated Titan.
I'd better give Otto the good news.
There we go. Yeah, I'm loving the story. I think it's definitely, it just takes a while for the story to get going in terms of it being Final Fantasy. The whole crystals and icons, chocobos. It's the story needs room to grow to allow the Final Fantasy spirit to come alive, if that's what you want to call it. Whereas in its infancy, it's all very, it's indistinguishable. It doesn't have much of a character of its own that other medieval fantasy games or stories have. But now that the story's kind of getting more and more, I could definitely see the Final Fantasy in it. I think it's the weak points of this game. I would say perhaps the biggest weakness. Nah, maybe I shouldn't say the biggest weakness. Just say a weakness. If you've played the game up until this point, it's where the game jumps ahead 5 years. I didn't like that too much in the sense that I don't mind it jumping ahead. That's not the issue. It was how the game pretty much almost put me, the player, to sleep for 5 years, and I'm suddenly waking up after 5 years expecting to know what's gone on for the last 5 years. It would have been nice if the game had given me a cutscene or something to tell me at least these are the main points that had happened, and then you fill in the gaps later. Instead, it was a case of, no, 5 years later, I'm suddenly doing this. It's like, wait, what? Did I get put in a coma or something? I think that was handled badly, how it was handled. I'm still not sold on the music. I think the music some of it is nice, but I think it's all kind of very background music. And I've explained that one. Hopefully it's a long game. Oh, certainly. I mean, where are we now in terms of game? 68%, and I've played 34 hours. And yeah, there's plenty to do. But yeah, the music, I think I've mentioned it already, but pretty much all the Final Fantasies, I would say up until 10 maybe, the music was handled by Nobuo Uematsu for the large part, if not all of it. And the music had a certain role in the game to convey what was going on. So you'd have perhaps like I don't know, but it did it in a certain way. There was a reason how the music was portrayed, whereas now it's more kind of backgroundy. I would say the music, the best music for Final Fantasy was probably 6 through 10. I've only played 6 once all the way through, but 6 definitely has its awesome bit of music. I think what I was saying earlier in the day was 1 through 5 was still good, but the music was perhaps hindered by the either software or the story. But once you get 6 through 10, the hardware and the story is there to really bring the music to life, to really push itself. For me, 12, it had its good pieces of music, but I found 12 to be very generic in terms of its environment music. I could play a piece of music and I wouldn't know where it was being played. I can't